What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Gavin's Fitness Zone and the start of what's going to be a weekly podcast. Maybe bi-weekly, see how it goes. But we are calling it All Grit. And pretty much, I'm going to talk about everything from fitness, health and wellness, nutrition, and just my opinions on it in general. Obviously, I'm not certified in anything. Trust me, I want to be. I'm working towards it. But I just have a love for fitness. I have a love for working out. I have a love for running, and the way I've been able to inspire some of my friends and my acquaintances is honestly, it's something different. And I'm just going to take this episode to have you guys get to know me personally if you're new, or even if you do know me, some of you guys might not know my whole story. So pretty much what got me into fitness was about a year and a half ago, close to a year though. I was weighing around 230 pounds, just got done my freshman year of college, and I was working out, but I mean, it was because I had to. I was playing baseball, I was working out because I had to. It wasn't consistent. I was going maybe 3 days a week, which is still that's most than most people do, but I was sitting at 230. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't getting as much activity as I wanted to. So I sat down with myself and I decided I needed to make a change, because I did. If I would have kept going how I was going, I just wouldn't have been a healthy person, and who knows the effects it could have had on me later in life. So yeah, I'm sitting at 230 and I decided to make a change. So that change is to start eating right and work out as much as possible. And honestly, it helped because I had a lot of motivation, and my best friend, or one of my best friends, Randy, he joined the military and he got cut, and I saw him and I was like, wow, my man was always he was skinny and he had cut lines because he was skinny, but he wasn't built how he is now. And I'll insert a picture just so you guys can see what I'm talking about, of how he used to be and how he is now. But that man, he made a real change, and that made me want to make a real change. So that started off my grind, and he was back from the military at that time, so I had him by my side to kind of kickstart that and really get me into it as much as I am into it now. So yeah, I start off at 230, and I set an initial goal of 200 by November. So from August to November, I wanted to get from 230 to 200. So like I said, I did some research. I read up on supplements. I downloaded apps and all that. I did all the shebang, and I can go deeper in that in the other episodes, what I use, what I don't use, what I read up on, what I think is good, what I think isn't, and that can be another episode. But I just want to keep this broad and brief. So I get down to probably 225, 220 in the first initial month, because you make a change, your body reacts differently, you're going to notice some progress. But then it slows down, which is normal. It takes time to make true gains. It takes time for anything. Any real success, it takes time. So I necessarily I don't get aggravated, but I know I just need to step it up a little more and stay more consistent, because even though I was on my kicks, I was still not eating the best. I was eating better, but I wasn't eating the best. I was having milkshakes and Sonic slushes like almost on a daily because I worked there, so it was ready available. I was eating the fast food because it was ready available. So once I started that changed and like really focused on my nutrition is where I really feel like I started making the most progress. So I like cut out all the fast food, stopped eating that. When I was at work, I would take the grilled chicken that I was there, whip it up into a salad. Stop like drinking the slushes on a daily because I was having like one of those a day. I wouldn't drink the milkshakes. I would limit like my snacking to like healthier stuff like nuts, trail mix, fruit. Not overload on it though, like only if I needed it. I was tracking my calories and everything. So that really started clicking. Like that started coming together, and I figured out what was working for me, what wasn't working for me. And by September, I was sitting at like, I think I was sitting at like 212 my birthday, September 19th, my birthday. And around this time, a little before, my other buddy, TJ, or Justin, he starts working out with me, and he kind of keeps that motivation going. I'm pushing him because he wants to start bulking up, and he's pushing me to keep cutting down and get to that goal weight of 200. And by the end of September, early October, so I got a month left. I have a month left. I'm at like 207, and I have a month to get to 200. And I really wasn't doubting myself. Like, I'm not the type to do that, but I wasn't too sure if I was going to get to there. So I weighed myself one day, and I come in at like 206. I think it's like maybe October, I don't know, we'll say it was October 10th. I come in at 206. Meet TJ at the gym. I'm like, yo man, I weighed in at 206 today. And I got to like November 3rd because I made it like an even amount of time from when I started to when I finished. So he's like, yo man, like, you got this. I know you can do it. I have confidence that you can do it. Like, you got this. So I got him keeping me going. And then not only do I have him keeping me going, I have Randy keeping me going too, and he's down in North Carolina, but he's still trying to motivate me too. So like both of them combined, like, help me push that extra little bit. And not even by November 3rd, I think by like October, like the last week of October, I was down to 200, and I was like, damn, like I exceeded my goal. I just wanted to be at 200, hopefully by early November. But like the beginning of the last week of October, I think it was like October 25th or something. I still got a whole week and a half until November 3rd. I'm already down to 200. And just that whole span of 4 months just made me fall in love with working out, because I saw how I could change myself, how I could better myself, how other people could motivate me and teach me, and then I could take that and then do the same thing to other people. Like Randy motivated me. He taught me some things. He taught me what to look into, what not to look into. And then I did my further research. And then that influence he had on me is the same influence I had on TJ. And just like the whole cycle of like, it's just a community. And that got me into working out. And then I started into a bulk, and I was getting real cut up, and I was loving the way I looked. But then I started running more, and you can see him in the back right here. First race, Ocean City 5K on New Year's Day, and then the one after it was another 5K And then the one after that was another 5K, so 3 5Ks. And then the day after that third 5K, I ran a half marathon, which was awesome. That was fun. Down in Delaware, my first ever half marathon. Ran it in just under 2 hours, which was my goal, so I was pretty happy about that. And then just this past weekend, I ran a terrain race, which is like, because I feel like they're not as common, but it's like a Tough Mudder or a mud run or like a Spartan race type deal, which is a race with obstacle courses, and that was a blast. Like, I had so much fun. Definitely do that again. And now I'm training for the Philly Marathon. So in that time span, from me starting running and leaving from a bulk back to a cut, I'm going from 200 down to 192, and hopefully by the time this podcast is up, I'll be at 190. But if I'm not, it's really no big deal, because I want to start bulking up again. So yeah, to give you a brief overview of where I'm heading, come September, I'm going to focus on mainly body weight stuff, only like some hardcore like compound exercises like bench, deadlift, squat. I'll keep in like the beginning of my running routines just to keep like that base strength, but then I'm going to work on getting more functional strength with body weight exercises and calisthenics. And then October, when probably like midway through, when the marathon training starts to die down and it's not as vigorous as it is now, I'll go to a hard bulk, but honestly probably more of like a lean bulk, and just try to like build some mass while still focusing on the running. But after I run the marathon at the end of November, I'm in a hard bulk for December and the midway through January, and see how much I could like define myself and build some muscle and build some mass. But yeah, that's pretty much my story in general. I could go way more in depth, and I could go, if you guys got any questions at all, anything like that, always feel free to ask me. At the end of the episode, I'll drop all my socials, I'll drop my website, so if you guys have any questions, you can check it out there. I'm going to be posting some vlogs all the time on my website. But the last thing I wanted to talk about, I had 2 things I wanted to do in this first episode, a little bit of an introduction, and then I wanted to talk about this here book I'm reading. It's called Atomic Habits, Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results. James Clear, New York Times best-selling author. I just started reading it, and damn, has it affected the way I look at some things, man. Like, I've been taking some notes on this stuff, and it just really makes you think of where you're at, your goals, and where you want to be. And all this information is credited to him. I'm gonna leave a link in the bio where you can buy his book, anything like that. Like, all his credits to him. These are all his ideas. I'm gonna paraphrase it for you guys and just give you some general ideas of what he's talking about. But the thing that has stuck with me the most so far about reading it, I'm 75 pages deep so far. 3 important things. This first thing, very first chapter, he states your focus should be getting 1% better every day. And I've heard that before. Little business in town, Drills for Skills, Sports Oasis, Coach Omar there, that's his motto, 1% better every day. And it really does resonate. Like, if you can make a small difference in your life every day, just one small little thing to make you better or get you one step closer to your goal. Like James Clear, he does the math. 1% better every day is 37% better throughout the year. 37% better throughout the year. So that 1% you're doing to make yourself better every day, like that just compounds over time and just gets you one step closer to your goals. But that's another thing he said. He said that instead of being goal oriented, you should be system oriented. So think about it this way. You have a goal. Say you want to start working out. So you say like, hey, I want to start working out. But even though your goal is to say drop like 30 pounds, the systems you have in place right now aren't working for you. So let's look at it like this. This is where the notes come in handy. Forget about the goals and focus on systems instead, was his main idea in this first chapter. So your goals are the results you want to achieve, but your systems are the processes that lead you to them. So pretty much he said there's 4 problems that come with being goal oriented. Number 1 was winners and losers have the same exact goals. So he likes to use examples of sports teams a lot, so I'll put it in that context too. Back when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, both the Eagles and the Patriots, they both wanted to win the Super Bowl. They both had the goal of winning the Super Bowl, but the Eagles had a better system to get them to that result. The second problem is that achieving a goal is only a momentary change. So, for instance, if you have a goal of waking up at 8 a.m. every day, you hit that goal for a week straight, but that's only a momentary change. What about the weekends when you don't have anything to do? Are you still going to wake up at 8 a.m. every day? No, it's a momentary change. Your system isn't in place to have you do that every single day. If your system is saying, hey, I can sleep in on the weekends, I don't have to wake up till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Number 3, and I feel like this is the most important, goals restrict your happiness. If you are so goal oriented, and I even had a problem with this when I was trying to lose weight at first. I was so stuck on trying to lose weight that if I didn't meet my goal, that like the mini goal I had of that week of getting to a certain weight, like if I wanted to get down to 210 that one week from 211, but I stayed at 211, I was kind of disappointed. I didn't reach that miniature goal I set. So having goals almost restricts your happiness. When you don't reach your goals, you're disappointed. But it shouldn't be that way, because it's just one minor setback. It's just something you have to fix into your system, which he goes on to explain later in the book about fixing your systems. But goals really do restrict your happiness when you sit down and think about it. Like, just because the fact of if you don't reach your goal, you end up being disappointed in yourself and being upset with yourself, and it makes you want to give up. Frankly, it makes you want to give up. And then the 4th problem he had are that goals are at odds with long-term progress. So a goal, it goes back to the momentary change thing. It's just something for the short term. A goal is a short term ideal, while playing in the systems is a long term beneficial change, if I put it simply like that. And then So, to recap so far, 2 topics. 1 is the 1% better every day. And then the 2 is changing your mindset from being goal-oriented to system-oriented. And I'm just doing brief overviews of this because honestly, I really think you guys should check out the book. It's a really good book. I'm enjoying it so far, and it's just going to help make a difference in your life, if I'm going to be honest. I've read it for 2 days, and I can already feel like it's making a difference in my life, and I want to make some changes already. But, third one. You have to change your identity to get the changes you want. And this might sound weird because you're like, well, Gavin, like, I am who I am. Like, I'm not going to change who I am just to do something or be somebody else. But that's not the case. So, say you want to start working out, or say you want to start running. You make the goal to change your habits and start running, say 2 miles every day. You do it for 1 day. You do it for 2 days. Then you slack off like the next 2 days. And then you do it 1 more day. And then you don't do it for a week. It's because the systems you have in place are not with that new identity you want. Your new identity is, hey, I want to be a runner. But your old identity, your old systems lead you to, hey, I'm a couch potato. I really don't like to do anything. I get home, I sit on the couch, I watch some TV, bust open a bag of chips, and we're chilling. So for you to start making real progress, you have to identify with what you want to be. If you want to turn into a runner, you have to tell yourself every day, I am a runner. This is who I am. And if what you're currently doing doesn't coincide with that new mentality you want, you know, something about your system needs to change. So whether it's you want to be a runner and you didn't run that day because you sat on the couch and watched TV instead, you know, something within that system needs to change. The sitting on the couch and watching TV, you replace that with your good habit that you want to start, and you identify with that good habit because it's a part with your new identity. That's pretty much the gist of what that's talking about. It can go much deeper than that, but the 3 takeaways I've really taken from the book so far is you gotta get 1% better every day. You need to be more system oriented instead of goal oriented. Goals, even though they're good in the short term, they overall impede long-term progress, and they restrict happiness. And then third is to change your outcomes, to change your systems. You need to change your identity, and you need to identify with what you become. You're not going to be able to change what you want about yourself unless you identify with it. If you're a slob and you want to become a neat freak, you need to identify as a neat freak. You need to make your habits coincide with that so you can identify as that and feel like you actually are that until you actually are that. And honestly, that's it for today. 1% better every day. Become more system oriented in your thoughts. Don't focus on your goals, focus on how. Focus on the how, not the what. And then 3, Change your identity. Embrace what you want to be, what you want to turn into, that better version of you, whatever it is, whether it's a runner, whether it's a lifter, whether it's a better parent, a better son, a better coworker, like whatever that mindset is you want to be, like you have to identify with it, and you have to weed out what doesn't work with that mindset and what does work with that mindset. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of All Grit. Like I said, I'm gonna drop my socials in the link in the description down below. I'll link the book once again, Atomic Habits by James Clear. I really recommend it. I'm not even halfway through yet, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'll leave a link in the description to that. I'll leave a link in the description to my website. There's going to be a blog going up right after this where I go more in depth about the book and what I think about it, and you'll probably get a better understanding of what I'm talking about from it. So please check out the blog, and just any support, any comments, any questions, any suggestions, they're all welcome. But that's all for today. From All Grit, it's your boy Gav. Thank you for your time. I hope you all enjoy your day, whether it's in the gym, at work, or at home. Be you.